I know you've had a tough week with mock exams. I'm obviously not here today, so we're just going to have a look at a couple of bits and pieces that you can do today for section E, and also a quick look at section F. So if I just choose somebody's folder at random, just see how well they're doing with section E. So if I look at Shannon's work, so go into section E, and this is obviously her workshop log. So you can see that she's made a really good start on this, and she's got this sort of work in progress, which is really good. That's the sort of position that everybody should be in, especially for those people who have just started some practical work. If I choose another random one here, so let's go into let's say Nick's. You can see that there is a bit of a difference. Some people have got a couple of photos, some people have got one, and some people have got none. So that's something that really needs to be addressed in today's lesson. Now, just to let you know that hopefully we'll be back on Monday. We will start some practical on Monday. We've also got next Thursday off timetable periods 1 to 4, and I've also sorted out with Mr. Fordham that on the Challenger lessons period 5 on Friday, we'll have an extra DT lesson in practical. Okay, so a couple of things that you can do today. If you look now into your section F, so everybody has a section F. So if we double click into Nick's here, you'll see that there is some paperwork that has been set up for section F. This is an evaluation and it's worth 20 marks. So if I click into this, now you'll see that Nick has already set himself a page up, which is quite nice, and that's been done. And then I've added at the bottom here example layouts, and there are 3 of them. Okay, so section F only contains 3 to 4 sheets, and you can see I've done 3 layouts. So if we look at layout 1, so there's a personal evaluation, good points and bad points, changes that you'll make to your design, some photos and some sketches. And then if you look at slide 2, we've got to evaluate against your client needs, the testing photos, the photos of your final product with testing with your client and client comments, and then there is an evaluation against the specification. And then the last sheet is changes you would make to the product to make it more commercial, and sketches to support that. Example 2 layout exactly the same, so again it's just in a different order and a different layout, but the content is the same. So evaluation against the specification, personal evaluation, client need evaluation, client testing, and then commercial modifications. So one of the things that definitely needs doing is if you have got an evaluation in section B, which I know you have, or you have got a client needs table in section A or section B, they can be copied into this area. Okay, so let's just do that as a quick example for Nick's, and let's hope that he's got it. So let's say Nick is going to do example 2 layout. So what I'm looking for is his specification, and then I'm going to copy it into that area there. I'm then going to add a couple of tables to the end. Alright, so let's just go back and see whether we can find his specification, which should be in section B, and this will be the same for every single person, okay, because we've all got a specification and we all have to evaluate against it. So let's see if he's got one. So you can see here he's got his evaluation, his specification here, and he's got it over 2 slides. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to go back to section F, and then we are going to paste that in this area for the evaluation. So you can see if he uses, let's say he uses example 1 layout, you can see there's an example here. If we copy those slides into that area there, now he needs to evaluate against that, so he needs like an evaluation and then a score. So what he can do is go into here, and then he wants to insert a column into that area. So insert column to the right, Okay, and then he'll insert column again to the right. And then he will write evaluation here, and then he'll write score, and it might be out of 10. All right, now we've done this before in the other project in year 10, and then what we'll need to do is to obviously put that down into a really low point, and so we can actually get it all into the same page. But you can see now that he's got 2 columns there, and he will need to use those to evaluate his work, and he'll need to make those fit. So getting this down to a very sort of small point would be really helpful. So you can do that and bring your specification in. You can delete all the example other layouts that you don't want. Likewise, if you've got a table for client needs, okay, which you should have at the end of section A, you can bring that table in and then put criteria and whether you've achieved it as extra columns on the end. So try and get section F sort of set up and ready. Delete the layout that you're not going to use. And then one of the other things that you can do today, and you can start to sort of play around with if you've finished all the other paperwork, is to look at doing a final Google SketchUp drawing. So if I look at this one here from last year, this is Aman's from last year. He has done a really nice exploded view of his final design that he's completed, and he's done that on Google SketchUp as well. So just to remind you, have a go at drawing it on Google SketchUp. We can dimension it once you've drawn it. So here's an example here. Once you've drawn it, you can actually dimension this. So this might be a final design. We use this tool here, which is the dimension tool. We can click a line and then we can pull it away. Okay, and we want to dimension it. Remember that your design should be able to be given to somebody and they should make it from this drawing. We can also edit the text in here and put in the right sizes. So do not worry if it's not been drawn to scale, because you can always put in the right millimeters here. Okay, right, so just to remind you, you need to open up section F. Okay, think about the layout that you're going to choose, copy your specification point table from section B over, add a couple of extra columns at the end there. If you've got a client table, a client needs table at the end of section A, copy that in, add a couple of these columns here. If you finish that and got that done, then go back in and have a little look at doing a final Google SketchUp drawing of what you think it's going to look like based on your practical. And then if you still need things to do, go back to your workshop log, go back to anything else and other paperwork that needs to be completed. Thank you very much.